I'm retro, let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. Yeah, it's lit in the chop shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30, let's do a first take. On Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step up to the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the chop shop, cause they cutting up. It's retro, coming to you live to the chop shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the chop shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the chop shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And going to have a great day this Monday. It's Manic Monday, because we always have so many topics to talk about. We have summer basketball. We got NBA starting tonight. NBA championship playoffs is starting tonight. Before I go anywhere, Jimmy, I want to talk to our first five. Derek Johnson, starting five. Derek Johnson, Rod Wells, Rick Brown, Rick Wilmore, and Kimberly Jackson. Those are the first five viewers that log on to the page, and I see them right here on the. I got them on the big screen today, Jimmy. They in live and live in color today. Great weekend this weekend. Shout out to Doug Jones and having his first event of this kind, and of course in the pandemic, you know they were clean and sanitized. I kept seeing about, I think it's Exquisite. Rick Exquisite cleaning service. Rick Nelson's company, and then it was powered by RCS Sports. I saw a few people there. I saw the news guy, Joe Gleason there, the Channel 13 guy. He had his shirt, and I think he covered the event. So I mean, it's a great weekend. Great. I think we had some stuff going on. Dallas got all the smoke, won all the smoke. Shout out to Buff, because I heard some good things about his event. I heard you know what? I talked to people who've been to both events, but we're going to get to that a little later. But Jimmy, I just want to share something with everybody that this NBA, I'm trying to see where I want to go. It's just, I got so much stuff inside my brain, but I watched that bubble this weekend. First of all, Jimmy, I'm praying for all the parents, Jimmy, I'm sorry, who have been forced into being the principals and virtual homeschools. Okay, I want to shout out, because a few parents I know, they've been forced to be the principal and of their virtual homeschool. So tag a parent, y'all, who's under stress, because a few of them are. Tag a parent. Don't just think they all right. Tag them. But Jimmy, I want to share with y'all something I got out the bubble. this weekend. It's a couple of things, and we're just it gave us a bunch of young stars. I saw it shows the NBA is in good shape. I like Michael Porter Jr. from Denver, Ja Morant from Memphis, Luka Doncic from Dallas. It's unbelievable. Joker from Denver, Jimmy. And then Jimmy, I was noticing how many players 25 or under was in this game that's doing well. And that Bubble got a chance to show that to me. And these guys are all better. They like these new NFL quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes come in ready to play. Lamar Jackson come in ready to play. These guys come in, they already able to score. They ready to score and they ready to play. Then the bubble game gave us a glimpse. They gave us a glimpse of the future, and I think it's fun. Then they gave us championship level teams. It's about 4 of them there. They gave you a hard game or two, not too many hard games. But both the 1 seeds in the whole NFL, they went 3-5. The 1 seeds, Milwaukee and what's the other team? The Lakers went 3-5, and Phoenix went 8-0. And so take that with a grain of salt. The Lakers played hard one game. They played against the Clippers, and then they dialed it back. The Clippers missed several guys, and what I learned about the championship teams and talking to a few people in the bubble, the championship type teams, they just want to stay healthy. That's all. They just want to stay healthy. So, hey, we're looking good. The NBA playoffs, they start tonight, Jimmy. What else you got going on?
I mean, they started up in a few minutes.
A few minutes, yeah.
And actually, the first game on tap is Utah and Denver. And Denver is, without question, the favorite in that series. And the winner, this is the, what seed? This is the 3 and the 6 seed that are taking place. And Utah, that means the winner of this series will probably face the winner of the Clippers and the Mavericks. That's the 2 and 7 seed. And that's which logically the Lakers Portland winner would take on the winner of the Houston Rockets OKC Thunder. And really and truly, I think all of the attention has been geared toward the Lakers versus Portland, the 1 and 8 seed. But truth be told, each one of these series are very, very close in the West. I mean, as far as on paper, even though the Clippers and the Mavericks, we don't know, you got to realize Montrez is just coming in to play. Now, that means some of the minutes will have to be adjusted for somebody. Patrick Beverly has to adjust to his new role. Remember, he's battling injuries as well and nagging stuff. And how we're going to see just how hard it is for some of these guys who think that they can just cut the switch on and off, far as just going into putting nitrous oxide into their games. I don't think it's that easy in the NBA. For you to just think you're going to be able to just cut it on. You got to have momentum that takes you into a place. And that momentum has to start somewhere, whether it be the first round of the playoffs.
Well, who has momentum? In this bubble, who has momentum? The team that have momentum, they go home. They on the plane.
Well, Portland has momentum.
But they're tired. Did you see how Nurkic was looking the other night? They've been playing 41 minutes a game, Jim.
Yeah, but he got the longest break. But he also will have the longest break that he's had since the season has been restarted. You see? So that means nobody has sit this long. It would be 4 days.
Jimmy, the man played 9 games.
Well, 3 days.
9 games, 41 minutes a game. It's I'm telling you, man. Let me tell you something. I don't think this matchup, and I might be wrong, I don't think this matchup gonna be as close as people think it is.
Which one?
The Lakers in Portland. I don't think.
What do you predict?
I think the Lakers win in 5.
Ooh.
Yeah. Portland might win a game. I'm giving them a game.
I hope the Lakers can win in 5, but this thing has 6, possibly 7 games written all over it.
Jimmy,
because
Jimmy, I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Before the pandemic, the Lakers had beat Milwaukee and the Clippers. During the pandemic, they played hard. They beat the Clippers. During the pandemic, they clinched and shut it down. They gave a lot of people a chance to play. Jimmy, it's just, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. I'm just telling you. And you know what? Portland can't guard nobody. Portland ain't guard nobody yet. So I just don't think it's going to be, and I might be wrong, but I just don't think it's going to be that close. I really don't. I think Portland might win a game. And I know y'all saying Dame time. Jimmy, you're going to run out of time. Jimmy, everybody run out of time. Hey, time is the most valuable thing in the world. Hey, Jimmy, you know how much time, you know how much money you got, but you don't know how much time you got. Time is time. We don't know how much time Dame got. But, I mean, and I'm glad you're taking that stance. Give me your reason why you think that stance, think that would happen.
You think what would happen?
That Portland gonna give them a run for their money.
I mean, I say it has it written all over. Number one of the undercurrent in this, that not only when Dame Lillard he's the headline as far as stealing all of the media's attention going into this, because there were doubts, and Dame Lillard has basically been in a box, or he is in a situation that can put himself in a box, whereas James Harden, and that's you guys hear that in the background, that's the yard.
We don't even hear it.
Out there doing
we don't hear
the yard. So
we don't hear it.
But James Harden, remember, one of the stigmas on him is regular season versus postseason. Dame has gotten swept each of the past 2 postseasons, if I'm not mistaken. And if he messed around and after having such a great and getting everybody on board, he will be right in that mode, possibly, as how people view James Harden. It's going to be, yeah, man, he a bad man, but bad man. And we're not even talking about getting to a place where a guy like Allen Iverson.
James Harden, and we was talking about, I thought we was on Portland. How we get on James Harden?
I'm talking about Dame. I'm talking about Dame is the incentive for him to not fall into that space, into that hole. Number 2 is the Carmelo Anthony versus the LeBron James. And the Carmelo Anthony is redemption tour, or what we're calling it right now. And if there's nothing else, you understand something. This Lakers team, Carmelo had thought last season, remember, that he was going to be a Laker, Hatter. Remember that. Carmelo had packed his bag and was going to L.A. Then somebody killed that deal.
Y'all thought Melo. I came on this show and said Melo ain't going out there.
No. He thought he was going.
No, he wasn't.
Because LeBron improved it. And LeBron said it. Matter of fact, LeBron came back and confessed. He co-signed and had put Melo to join the team. That was and didn't happen. So Melo, not only is he trying to prove something, to many teams in the NBA, he's trying to go and establish, knocking off the Lakers, especially in the role that Carmelo Anthony has thrust himself into, a comfortable role. There's no pressure. He's the 4th option in the offense. 4th option. Then you got CJ. CJ, we know CJ was hurt. We saw CJ limp, walking gingerly on that leg. CJ just went.
His leg ain't hurt, Jim. His back hurt. But keep going.
Well, his back hurt. I'm sorry, I said the leg. We saw him walking gingerly on with that back, and he was cooking on Saturday, down the stretch in that key win over
and
Memphis.
Got cooked by a rookie too. He was cooking, but the rookie gave him 35 too. But keep going.
But that 4th quarter, CJ hit the 3. Then came back and hit another 26-footer. Then came back and hit a pull-up jump.
The rookie had 14 in the 4th quarter, but keep going. Ja Morant.
That was ball game.
Huh?
That was ball game. What CJ done, not what Dame did.
Yeah.
What CJ done. So
I'm
this
talking.
means his momentum can possibly go into that. We don't know which Portland team we will
Jimmy,
see.
it might
We
not make it
damn
to the
sure don't know
fourth
which
quarter.
Laker team we gonna see.
We might not make it to the fourth quarter. That's what I'm saying. Dame and all that fourth quarter. I think the Lakers gonna beat them before the fourth quarter. There. That's
I
just
mean,
me.
but that's the whole thing. So do we really believe that understand that LeBron and AD, it has to be more than those two. We don't right now with the Lakers. You don't know Kuz. Is he gonna take the muzzle off Kuz and let Kuz go?
Hey man, the man ain't taking the mother. Kuz just sometimes he just don't show up. That's why he ain't got that extension yet.
This ain't no room for that though, Hal. This ain't no room for that. This ain't no room for that. Dwight Howard, what they got him for? Dwight Howard is not playing the same. Is not playing a minimal role. Dwight Howard is playing. He's a key reserve off the bench with that second group.
Jimmy, let me help you out. And I think, because we become prisoners of the moment. And I think we looking at this regular season, these bubbles games, and having a caption of what. Remember, y'all, the Phoenix Suns, one of the worst teams in the league, was 8-0 in the bubble. Okay? It's playoff times now. The referees changed the game. Excuse me, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you don't. The referees call the games different in the playoff time. This playoff time now, everything, it's a series. So everybody has a chance. It's adjustments in the second game. It's adjustments in the first half. It's adjustments in the second quarter. This is a lot different than those 8 games we just saw. So if I'm just helping you, I'm just giving you a snapshot of the game starting at 12:30. Come on, y'all can listen to the Chop Shop and watch the game at the same time. But it's just gonna be called different. But Jimmy, unique thing with this first game, Utah, Mike Conley left the bubble. His son he got a new son, a son that just got born.
Yeah, and we didn't need Utah to even put up a fight in this series anyway. We don't need to put up a fight in this series. We need Denver to win this series. Basketball needs Denver to win this series to make it easy, make it interesting in the semis of the Western Conference. You know that, Adam. You know that.
I don't want to see no dude. We're gonna have one sweep already with the Lakers. I don't want extra sweep. The Lakers gonna sweep them. Hey, I'm telling you, I got a feeling the Lakers gonna sweep them, boy. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. But Jimmy, I got to shout out my daughter watching for the first time in a long. Well, she be watching and behind, but she's on there today. What's up, Brent? She in the building. So what else you got? Come on. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, we're up against the break. I think right now. We go to a quick break and we come back and finish talking these playoffs and breaking down, getting our thoughts and getting your thoughts as well, guys. As far as it's the day. Today is D-Day, the day we've been waiting for all year long. The NBA playoffs. It cranks up and the ball goes in the air in about a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, we go to a quick break, guys. Hal, queued up them commercials for them, and we'll see you guys in a few seconds.
Bossman. DJ Khaled. Left hand, right hand, yeah. Put it in the sink. Front hand, back hand, right with some soap in between, yeah.
Wash your hands, clean them up. Wash your hands, clean them up. Wash your hands, clean them up. Wash your hands, clean them up.
Yeah. Left hand, right hand, put it in, put some soap in. Right hand, match it up.
Now lather.
Clean it up.
Don't dap me up, bro.
Back my ass got cleaned up.
Back it up.
Yeah, don't dab me up.
Yeah.
Limited daps. Limited. Baby, step back. I don't want that. Limited daps. 6 feet. Baby, step back. I don't want that.
We the cleanest.
Bossman.
DJ Khaled.
Left hand, right hand, yeah. Put it in the sink. Front hand, back hand, right with some soap in between, yeah.
Wash your hands, clean them up. Wash your hands, clean them up. Wash your hands, clean them up. Wash your hands, clean them up.
Yeah. Left hand, right hand, put it in, put some soap in. lather. Clean it up,
Don't dap me up,
bro.
back
My
it
ass
up.
got cleaned up.
Back it up.
Yeah, don't dab me up.
Yeah.
Limited daps. Limited. Baby, step back.
DJ Khaled.
I don't want that. Limited daps. 6 feet. Baby, step back. I don't want
We
that.
the cleanest.
Hey, hey, whoa, hey, 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 hey,
I'm just
Hello. Okay. Hi.
constituents
Whoa.
were
Wait
just
a minute,
outside
sir.
this building, just a few minutes
Whoa.
ago, asking for your
Hi.
attention to a much bigger idea than
Thank you so much, sir, for your big idea. But we want to make sure that we are able to get through this. Okay, it's okay, folks. It's okay.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatt, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world. That last clip I showed y'all, that clip, remember this name, Karine Jean-Pierre. That's the young lady that jumped in when Kamala Harris was running for president. She was at primaries. She was at a rally, and she got in front of that guy. Said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Look her up, ladies and gentlemen. Look Karine Jean-Pierre up. She has just got Jimmy. She is got appointed to Kamala Harris chief of staff. She is her chief of staff now. That was months ago. That was during the primaries. But I just wanted to share. That's a name of another talented black woman that a lot of people don't know about. But she is Kamala Harris now. That was then, but now she is her chief of staff. Look her up, and y'all gonna be saying, "Wow." And she's a member of the LGBT community, and a powerful woman in that sphere. I just wanted to let people who did know who she is. What's up, Jimmy? What else you got, baby?
Oh man, we're talking NBA playoffs, which have tipped off right now, and of course, last segment we talked about the Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, and then as well as the Lakers and Portland. Let's move over to the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Chris Paul gets a shot against his former team. James Harden gets a shot. And Russell Westbrook both get shots at their former teams. This series has the Portland Laker type of effect on it. Although the Rockets have the capability, if they're clicking, once again, it's if they're clicking, to go and put Oklahoma City out of their misery. However, Oklahoma City has Chris Paul, who knows everything about what makes this Houston Rocket team tick. And the small ball effect, they will attempt to use Steven Adams to their advantage and impose him early and often against these Rockets. It's going to come down with the Rockets. Once again, they're in a situation where, besides the two guards, Westbrook and Harden, who else is going to step up? PJ Tucker, whom I mentioned, is playing some of his worst basketball of the season during this stretch in the bubble. All them tennis shoes he had shipped down there and wanted to be this. And Chris, I'm concerned about that slot. We have no consistency. Ben McLemore has been pretty consistent.
I like him.
Green has been solid. I mean, based on the expectations, I've been liking Green.
I like Green.
I didn't like the way he finished.
I like Covington.
But I like Green.
I like Covington.
Green has been solid.
I'm waiting on you to call this one name you got on me about. I'm waiting on you to call this one name.
The one name, Daniel House. Daniel
Yeah.
House has been consistent in the bubble, and but at the same time, this right now is money time. Which one of those guys are going to step up consistently? It can't be. Austin Rivers scored 41 points there last week in the bubble. Guess what?
Jimmy, when it comes to the Rockets, it's just if they can make shots. They're going to get their shots. If they make them, they win. If they miss them, they lose. I mean, that's the story of this small ball. If they make them, they win, because they're going to get open shots. You know, and guys just got to make them.
No, ain't just gotta. They better.
Yeah,
that's a difference.
Well,
They
same
better
thing.
make.
I just said if they don't, they'll be down here. They'll be back down here with us. They'll be out the bubble. Hey, they'll easily be out the bubble. They'll be like Phoenix and the rest of them guys that got shipped on. And Sacramento got played so bad they fired everybody in the front office. But I kind of knew that was coming.
Now, speaking of OKC, didn't Lil Ugly have to leave the bubble? I think he's coming back, ain't
he? He back. He had a baby too.
That's the problem. Lil Ugly versus Austin Rivers. That's the problem.
Let me tell you something, Jim. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I'm a realist. With Russell out, I don't. What made us unique? We had 2 MVPs on the team. Now we don't have but one. We like everybody else now. Everybody else got one. Everybody else, well, you know. So we, I mean, hey, you know what? If Russell can't play, you know,
he's not playing game 1, right?
But he's not going a quad dude, Jim. The way he plays and that quad injury, that's one of the worst injuries a fast guy like that can play. Because guess what? Dirty players like Chris Paul might stick his knee out or have somebody stick their knee out and hit him in it again. So those that thing there, oh my! Anybody who ever played basketball and had a quad injury, they know how that feels. So yeah. Kimberly Jack. See, hey, Jimmy, see you influencing Kimberly. She calling Lil Ugly. Look, the man is named Dennis Schroeder, not Lil Ugly. See, that Mindy just said something, Jimmy, that I've been saying for, I don't know. I'm sounding like a broke record. Eric Gordon been stealing money for too long, Jimmy. Eric Gordon, you know how y'all be bragging about, man, I'd rather have them ring. Eric Gordon ain't got a ring. But that man been stealing a whole lot of bread, Jimmy. And don't nobody, but he ain't no MVP guy. He ain't that. But, man, that man been stealing a lot of money. Oh, my goodness. A lot of money. Yeah, but Dennis Schroeder, that's who Jimmy is so affectionate to call Lil Ugly. But,
yeah.
Well, hey, Lil Ugly got a wife now. So, Lil Ugly got a wife.
Hey. A kid and as well, and but that's, I mean, this series, once again, the Rockets and OKC Thunder, this is the perfect time for James Harden to go, and I would call it stealing a win. It's a 4 versus 5 seed, so these are basically 2 teams that were deadlocked in the middle of the pot. But going into this season, OKC Thunder was basically, remember, Chris Paul, there were rumors about him asking to be traded, to get up out of there. And he decided, they convinced him to go and hang with it. The young guys.
Jim, the key thing, they talked about buying him out. You remember I came and told you, Chris said, no, I want all my money. Yeah. And he wasn't going to take a TJ Ford type deal. He was like, y'all going to pay me. Give me
I sit right here. I'm going to get every penny. Then finally, the young guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they bought into Chris Paul and his leadership. And one of the things that an OG loves is when a young fella come to them and always ask them for guidance and ask them about assistance on their game to help them. And guess what? Next thing you know, Chris Paul and they start playing, and they've been pretty consistent. This team, I mean, OKC beating the Rockets is humongous for OKC because they're already playing with house money.
Oh, they really playing with house money. Yeah, they was expected to be in the lottery.
Exactly. I mean, seriously.
But Jimmy,
They're playing with house money.
I remember 2
Now-
years ago, I went to LA, stayed for a couple of months, and I came back on this show and told y'all about a kid I saw, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And I know everybody was talking about, well, yeah. And I just saw what he was doing at Rico Hines Summer League. I saw what he was doing at Loyola Marymount. And I was just sitting, and I know how high that Sam Cassell were on him, and I know how high Doc Rivers and the squad to give him away. But guess what? When I asked them recently, man, you had to give up Shea? He said, man, yeah, we had to give him up because we had to have PG. So Paul, they said to get Paul George, it's a no-brainer, Hatter. We don't care how good he get. To get Paul George, we had to make that move. And so Jimmy, another unique thing happened with that. I don't know if y'all saw the game, the last bubble game. Doc stepped aside and let Sam Cassell coach the second half of the last game. And Sam Cassell was at the realm and at the helm in that last win that the Clippers had against I forgot what team it was. I just wanted, because we don't. Doc is trying to put Sam in a position where, guess what, Jimmy? Just like you say, you put Doug in a position to eat. Doc putting Sam in a position to eat because he already know Tyronn Lue got it already. He got a championship. Now he put Sam in a position where Sam can be looked on as a head coach and a leader of a franchise. I just wanted to share that with people who might have not saw that this weekend.
Yeah, and that's for Doc Rivers. That's how it's supposed to go, and he has the pedigree to where he's immune from any type of a complaint or criticism against such a move. Because guess what? If he don't do it, who will? As one of the few black head coaches in the bubble.
Powerful
right
move,
now.
Jimmy. No other coach no other coach did that for no other coach in this bubble. One coach
did
that.
Especially over the weekend, Adam, the Chicago Bulls gig is open.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was
and
out.
So
he was dead man walking. Jim Boylan was dead man walking.
Sam Cassell.
But is that a good job to take?
Guess what though? What black head coach walks into? How often do you walk into the great job? The job that's there. So you got to take it how it comes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I look at right now. You want to get in, and as you get in, you may win a little bit, and then guess what? And you can go and piggyback on.
Yeah, I think he's ready. I'm so proud of him. Y'all got to know. I've been knowing Sam so long before he rookie, we tried to represent Sam. So you know how long that is. That was 20-some years, 28, almost 28 years ago, down in Florida State. I tried to represent him, and I wound up representing Robert Horry instead of Sam. But it's I've been knowing him, great friend, great. Slept on my couch, slept on his. It's I'm just proud to see that this guy, he been coach. He been playing for he played for a certain amount of years. Now he been in the game for 27 years, and I'm just so proud of him. And it's time. And he said it, Jimmy. First time he ever said that. He said it's time. It's time. So that's a great choice, Jimmy. So you said Chicago.
Now, speaking of time, also down in New Orleans, their head coach has been removed over the weekend. And so now who's going to get that gig?
That's a good one. Whoever, because Jimmy, I don't know how good of a gig that is. I know we got to take a break soon, but I don't know how good of a gig that is. That Oklahoma.
What you mean? You don't know how good of a gig that is?
The New Orleans gig.
That's a great gig,
Jimmy. It's great because of what? Give me a reason.
Zion Williams.
Jimmy, I always look at great gigs is ownership. Look at ownership first. Terrible ownership. David Griffin is trying to right the ship. Jimmy, I don't think this is just a great deal. Because if you watch the NBA, ownership is very, very important. Zion, I don't know about Zion yet. We don't know. I just don't know. I think he's a star, but when is he going to be healthy? When is he going to it's just, Jimmy, it's just a lot of questions, Mark. I don't think it's a great gig. I think if you want to go with some young talent and, Brandon Ingram, because we don't know nothing about Lonzo. Y'all saying Lonzo is terrible. So I don't see where it's a great gig. Not great. When you say great.
Well, let me explain to you why I'm saying it's great. First of all, with all of the young pieces there, this team.
Give me the young pieces, Jimmy. Zion. Okay. Zion and Brandon Ingram.
You got Brandon Ingram. You got Lonzo Ball. You got Hart.
Lonzo Ball, Jimmy. Lonzo Ball. I'm telling you, Lonzo Ball don't have it like that no more. You can't put him on that list right now.
What do you mean? Lonzo Ball was improved last year. That's the thing about it. When Zion goes down, remember, he doesn't play. When he finally gets with the team in such a big hole after he goes down. Guess what? This team, understand?
Not a great job.
Put it like this: they only won 30 games this year, Hatter. New Orleans.
Not a great job.
But understand, expectations when you get a job, what goes on your resume is the improvement from the previous year before you got in there for a lot of.
Alvin Gentry improved and got fired.
No. That wasn't an improvement this year. Him winning 30 games and not making the playoffs. He made the playoffs and beat Portland and swept Portland in the first round the year before.
Yeah, but
that means you relapsed.
Jimmy, Zion got hurt. So should they have gave him another one?
Not only did Zion get hurt, you as a head coach lost the prized possession. Zion was not on the side, not in favor. Alvin Gentry, old school guy, just didn't. Guess what? You lost this young man.
And
you can't mess. Guess what?
So tell me who can coach young talent. We got to find a person that can coach. Because Alvin Gentry, we got to find somebody. Because the same Alvin Gentry did well the year before.
Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell could speak their language.
Oh yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
So that's one. Let's stop right there. So why do we got to go and name, like a lot of people, what they're doing is, and you look at names, always you have lists that's going to come out as potential candidates for various jobs right out the gates. And what a lot of times it would be, check out the source of the list. It would be some white guy going to put a list of other white guys who's in with, and he may be in with the agents of those guys, and they're going to help their people out to start pushing with momentum. That's called narratives. So now, if we push a Sam Cassell out there and get 3-4 other people to keep pushing a name in the mix of other names as well, then guess what? That's how it goes.
Well, I'm all for that. Let's push Sam.
And Tyronn Lue.
Oh, he's great.
A name
he's great.
That I will push for that guard for New Orleans. Tyronn Lue, understand?
Jimmy, what about the New Jersey job? What about the Brooklyn Nets job? You got Kyrie, you got Kevin Durant, you got Jack.
But it would have to be somebody that those guys have some type of respect for. Either one or both of them. They're both a united front. They've showed that, KD and Kyrie. But it would be somebody they both have an affection or a great deal of respect for, plus has the pedigree that can come in and handle that media as well without criticism, because it can crush you as well. But I'm thinking about this New Orleans. I said Lue because there's a connection with the Cleveland
David Griffin.
With the NBA team that he previously coached at. Isn't one of those guys have an attachment with the New Orleans Pelicans now?
Yes, David Griffin. Yes. He the
So
president. Yeah. Yeah.
so think about it. Connect dots. Why would he not? If Lou got him a championship,
That's a
why
good one.
not bring Lou into this fold to be able to run? Lou can deal with some of these young guys. He's what they call a player's coach. Lou would be that guy. You know, then that way now, of course, you got guys like Jason Kidd. I don't know if Jason Kidd can deal with it. Remember, Jason Kidd had a shot with Milwaukee to be able to deal with them young guys.
He was good. He the one developed Giannis. He just had some off-the-court problems that they had to deal with him about, Jimmy. Yeah, Jason had off-the-court problems.
Kim Jackson say, "Come back, Phil Jackson." Let me tell you something, Kim.
Oh,
I'm
my
hoping
God,
that you were laughing
Kim.
as you typed that. There's no way. Phil
Kim,
Jackson.
come on,
This is
Kim.
a whole.
Come on, Kim.
This basketball game has totally revolutionized, and Phil Jackson, he proved that. Remember that when he tried to come over there with that New York stint.
Amen.
And you see later Goose Egg in New York.
Not gonna happen.
Not happening. So I mean, just pay attention. Something with Mark Jackson, guys, is keeping him boxed out. And I'm seeing Kerry Holmes say Mark Jackson for Brooklyn. I mean, that would be.
Jimmy.
He's a fan favorite in New York
Jimmy.
City. He's from there, but
I know you don't listen, but I told you about Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson had that problem at Golden State. Okay, Mark Jackson.
that was a big problem. in Golden
Mark
State.
Jackson openly. Mark Jackson is a man of faith, and he did not approve of the behavior of Rick Welts. Go look up Rick Welts, one of the most powerful. Rick W-E-L-T-Z, Z-T Welts. He is the one of the high-ranking members of the Golden State Warriors who is openly gay, and he is one of the architects of the All-Star game and the festivities and how seamlessly and how the entertainment runs in the All-Star games and NBA All-Star game. Rick Welts is the mastermind behind that. Very powerful man among all 30 owners, and that's Jimmy. How you say connect the dots on that one? Connect the dots. Connect the dots on that.
Now we understand. Remember now, Tillman Fertitta never renewed or extended the contract for Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni is also dead man walking. We mentioned that series about OKC. Chris Paul has the capacity right now to indirectly or directly get Mike D'Antoni fired in the next week. And you understand, Dusty Baker came and took the Astros gig with only a 1-year deal, but after the first week, they hurried up and locked him in for 1 extra year. Remember, D'Antoni has health concerns. Remember the bubble. He was one of the coaches that he was even questioned. Remember, he had to get a late clearance or a late stamp of approval to even be able to join them in the bubble at first. You know, not knowing, back when they were finalizing everything and they were waiting to go. Mike D'Antoni is not going to be the head coach of the Houston Rockets next season unless they can win the whole shebang. Unless they can win it all. And even so, he might be in a situation like Phil Jackson was with the Chicago Bulls, albeit that's a whole different situation. I'm talking about that last year when you know that you're gone, no matter what the hell you do. Mike D'Antoni, you can see it, you can smell it, and that's one of the things that is scary. That is really of concern for the city of Houston, because that people know it. You know they don't that what the situation is. You can see it from a mile away. And so if this coach is not secure,
So this another job that should be open then this year.
Sam Cassell to the Houston Rockets.
I agree. But they had a chance to get Sam before they got D'Antoni.
Yeah, but more experience now. Sam has gotten that experience, and they've watched him close. They understand they saw him, but they really wasn't paying attention. Kind of like Black Lives Matter. They saw the knee, kind of like Kaepernick on the knee. We saw Sam Cassell on the bench. Now we see him on the bench with his suit on and with his glasses on. Now it's not like, oh, Sam looking stupid. That is the new Sam Cassell now. So that's how you look at him now. A young guy that could speak that language, because the NBA is full of guys who speak in a different language than a lot of these old coaches in their 70s, pushing up on 80 years old. You're not going to really understand what's making these young guys tick. You're not going to know how to get the best out of them. Now, that's why a guy like D'Antoni, which even right now, remember, when he came into the job, the Houston Rockets were one of the only teams in the NBA that did not do shoot around. They didn't do shoot around, the Houston Rockets. And that was, and the thing was, he went and they made it was a smart move. I mean, understand, no matter how old a coach is, if you're smart enough to go and get that one guy, like a John Lucas was that guy who served multiple roles within the team. He's the substance abuse counselor on the team. He's the alcohol counselor. He's the psychic on the team. He's a motivator on the team. He's the guy that connects that connects that old to the new with the team. That was his value and is his value. And now Mike D'Antoni would have been gone because they made it. Luke was what kind of made the atmosphere cool. So does John Lucas? We mentioned Sam Cassell. If once D'Antoni is bounced, because his ass is going to be gone. He's not coming back because the Rockets are not winning it all. But John Lucas supposed to get serious consideration to take over that Rockets job, and that can be his swan song, and that would solidify his legacy, to give him a job. Finally, he would get to coach a team that has the caliber on paper to win and win it all. To have the pieces in place, the nucleus to win it all. They need some pieces, yes, they do, but it ain't been fair. He had the San Antonio Spurs, and he was basically the Mr. Fix-It for them in order to help them get a lottery pick. Soon as they get the lottery pick, they ship Lucas off. He gets a job at Philly to help them get a lottery pick. Then he gets a job with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Help them get a lottery pick. Remind you, when people say, well, man, he had chances, Luke had chances, all those get. No, dude.
Jimmy, what you mean by help them get a lottery pick? You mean lose?
No, Adam.
That's how you get a lottery pick is you lose.
Well, yes, because as Lucas said it, he confessed and confirmed with his own mouth how it went with him. And I kind of touched on it last week. When upper management, they have, in certain situations, unless you're Doc Rivers and you're the GM, they can pretty much tell you who they want to see or who they don't want to see, because there's some teams trying to get, remember back in those days, it was blatantly obvious. You can tank and the people wasn't paying attention because it was protecting certain coaches. You want to get them balls, increase your balls are getting your odds of getting that lottery pick. So if you're not playing certain key players, then your odds of winning decrease. Now, you ain't trying to lose on purpose as a coach, but they're putting your handcuffing you. Upper management is by not allowing certain guys to play. Not allowing you. They want to see this other rookie to help boost his stock. They want to see these other guys going into the last year of his contract. We want to get his stock up, so we need to play him more minutes. We're not going to make it anyway. Let's play these other guys. That's kind of like how they go. But let's go up into this break, guys, and come on back, talk some more. And guess what, Haller? It's Monday. Back 9, we open up the phone lines for the people. Let you guys call in with your thoughts. And we'll answer some of your questions as well in comments. And we got some grassroots talk as well. It's the back 9. That mailbag is full, too. Chop shop. Be right back.
Give them the number, Jimmy.
Oh, the number?
Yeah.
The number to call in, 832-264-1500. 832-264-1500.
I stand before you today as a candidate for the Democratic nomination for the presidency of the United States of America. I am not the candidate of Black America, although I am black and proud. I am not the candidate of the women's movement of this country, although I am a woman, and I'm equally proud of that. I am not the candidate of any political bosses or fat cats or special interests. I stand here now without endorsements from many big-name politicians or celebrities or any other kind of prop. I do not intend to offer to you the tired and glib cliches which for too long have been an accepted part of our political life. I am the candidate of the people of America. Fellow Americans, we have looked in vain to the Nixon administration for the courage, the spirit, the character, and the words to lift us, to bring out the best in us, to rekindle in each of us our faith in the American dream. Yet all that we have received in return is just another smooth exercise in political manipulation, deceit and deception, callousness and indifference to our individual problems, and the disgusting playing of divisive politics, pitting the young against the old, labor against management, North against South, black against white.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter. You would listen to the words of Shirley Chisholm. You know, the first black woman to run for president. She ran on an independent ticket, and she, I mean, it was just unique. A lot of people hadn't, you know, this guy was telling me some stuff she was saying that they didn't realize. So I played it for y'all today. So what else we got, Jimmy? I know you got some extra news. What else we got going on?
Well, we got an update, of course. Denver and Utah are in the first quarter,
yeah.
and Denver is up 24-18 with about 2.5 minutes left to go in the opening period. And we open up the phone lines, guys. We'll talk. First of all, let's get some of the comments, Hatter, and go to some of the comments. And Jason says the reason why John Lucas don't have a job is because he's black. Let's be real. As much knowledge as this man have, there's no way these white guys are better than John Lucas. All the knowledge that this man has had with his years of teaching and coaching and with the youth shows you how much they really care about a black man. Well, he has a job, Jason. He's an assistant coach with the Houston Rockets. And so he's basically getting compensated. He interviewed for this job. And you have to understand, I don't know the connection as to how Fertitta came up with this not being a basketball guy. But somebody in business had to recommend Mike D'Antoni. You know, the dots can be connected It's just sooner or later, if you're in the room with some of these guys at one time.
What you
or
say? Who's a
another, you can
basketball
easily-
guy?
I say Tillman Fertitta
Being a
wasn't an NBA guy. I mean, he's a basketball
fan.
lover.
Fan.
Yes, but he wasn't a basketball on that level, not
Yeah.
knowing Mike D'Antoni. How did he
big difference.
connect with Mike D'Antoni to hire him? Think about it like this, to hire him as a lame duck. Remember, he fired Kevin McHale after 11 games. 11 games, fired Kevin McHale. I'm going to tell you something now. Truth be told, I mentioned 2 names last segment about the Houston Rockets job. Sam Cassell would be an outside, have an outside lane on his track. I'm going to tell you somebody who's going to get serious consideration for this Houston Rocket job, and that would be Kelvin Sampson. Kevin Sampson has warmed the heart of Tillman Fertitta after producing a winning program, a nationally recognized winning program over the past 2 years, ranked in the top 25 in the country. Kevin Sampson, that means Tillman Fertitta is your heart moving, because your money, that $20 million that you put up for that facility to get built, that's named after you.
And guess what, Jimmy?
Right.
You threw that name out there, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Do that, and that's connection. Let me tell you something. He has the power. Tillman Fertitta has the power to do that. So it ain't no, he got to wait on that. You got to remember, he don't have a board of directors. He's a sole owner. So he has the power. So if that's his guy, that can happen easily. It ain't got to be no, if Tillman Fertitta want Kevin Sampson to be the coach, he can make it happen as soon as the Rockets lose.
Well, we see it right now, and I'm just telling you, we see it. We see, first of all, he has not renewed Mike D'Antoni. He's in the final year of his contract. In case you guys didn't know, he's officially dead man walking. Ain't no way in the hell he gonna get renewed in the middle of the playoffs right now if he ain't got renewed already yet. No. Remember, they broke talks off last October between the ownership, Fertitta and D'Antoni, and so he knew it.
I wonder what he's gonna do with Morey. I wonder what he's gonna do with Daryl Morey.
Hey, that's a good question.
Think about it. Every NBA.
That's a good question, because Sacramento is over in the territory to where a guy like Daryl Morey with those analytics and that he would fit plug right in with Sacramento.
But owner, Roddy, he might not like. You got to understand, all these owners mad at Daryl Morey, Jimmy. They lost him $2 billion. Hey, they ain't forgot that, Doc. Your tweet cost me some money. And notice Daryl Morey, his tweets, because I follow him. His tweets has not been that, his tweets, he used to tweet all the time. He don't tweet as much as he does. Kevin Allen said the Rockets need a younger basketball mind, and that would, all respect, that would be. What about Kenny Smith?
Well, Kenny Smith got a token interview, but then Kenny Smith would not get the gig before Sam Cassell. With all due respect, he wouldn't get it.
So let's go hypothetical here. Kelvin Sampson goes to the Rockets.
Yes, and his son will take over. He's coaching waiting right now at U of H.
So he would take his son with him?
Remember now, Kevin Sampson had an NBA deal on the table.
Oh, yeah. I know.
A couple of years ago. You guys may not have known that.
Orlando.
And I broke it on the Chop Shop. We broke it on the Chop Shop. Kevin Sampson turned down a head coaching gig 2 seasons ago because University of Houston would not anoint his son as the head coach and make a smooth transition. So Kevin Sampson stayed for his family. So now, since then, mind you, things change when you win.
But
They
Jimmy,
since then they've been kicking butt.
somebody just texted me and threw some salt in the game. They
What they
said,
say?
Fertitta, text both of us, said Fertitta did not hire D'Antoni. Not his guy. Great point. Great point. New owners come in, they usually want their own people. That's a great point. Previous owners did that. Les Alexander did. Do not think he would take Sampson from U of H because that's his school. He don't want to take Kellen. He know Kellen might be coaching waiting, but Kelvin Sampson, if he's taken away from U of H, does U of H miss a beat? He don't want to hurt his whole school now. Tim and Fertitta. You follow me?
Which one makes him the most money, Hatter? Now, come on now. Which one makes him the most money? University of Houston or the Houston Rockets?
No. He gives money to U of H. He makes money. Okay. All right. Okay. Say no more.
There's no, hold on.
Say no
What
more.
you're saying?
Say no more.
There's no, what you're saying about interest? There's no permanent
No permanent
interest?
friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interest.
That's why he would do that. Let's not get this stuff twisted now. In a heartbeat. If he think that Kelvin Sampson can salvage that team and can galvanize, remember now, Kelvin Sampson has NBA experience.
Yes.
We're not talking about getting an average college coach and just thrusting him into that. He's been the NBA coach.
I got one better for you, Jimmy. Come up in the screen a little bit. But I got one better for you. He's a good friend of James Harden. I've even went to the mall before and saw Kevin Sampson with James while James was in the mall shopping. Kevin. Yes, during Christmas time. Wow. That's
time will tell.
Uh-huh.
Time will tell. And as I see Kevin Allen, he says Sam Cassell will be a great fit. I mean, this is the perfect time. And we just naming off 3. And understand something now.
And Jimmy, Rick Wilmore had a great one, and I want you to keep your point. But he said Jason Kidd had no prior experience to the Buck job, but he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. What can Kenny bring? Kenny Smith is a basketball savant. I'm telling y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something else too, Jimmy. If y'all get a chance to go to Twitter, go look up what's Draymond Green. Draymond Green explained that Portland's win the other night better than any announcer who announced it. He explained the most important play of their game. Didn't have nothing to do with the shot that somebody hit, but the defensive play that the young man, Gary Trent Jr. did. Y'all got to go back. Y'all got to go back and check that out. Draymond Green is a bad. Oh my good, Jimmy. It just makes my heart proud when I see these young men like LeBron and Draymond and they say this the kid John Morant Jimmy's just a sponge and knows so much about the game at such early. So that's a good one, man. You don't have to have experience, because Jimmy, you mentioned experience, and I think that's what Rick came back and said. But what was you about to say?
Well, I was gonna say whoever gets the job, D'Antoni, and we got the text, of course, that Fertitta did not hire him. What deal did Fertitta become known? I know D'Antoni been there 4 years, a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
For like 16 mil.
Yeah, he ain't been there that long. Well, I know Les Alexander hired him.
Yeah, so that was indeed less higher, and this 4-year deal is up. So I mean, the next head coach is going to make at least 4 or 5 or $5 million a year. If he's making $4 million a year, that was 4 years ago. They agreed to him for $4 million, four per. That's D'Antoni. So guess what? What is Kevin Sampson making right now at U of H?
I don't know how much
he's not making anywhere near $4 million. He's making about what? About what, 2?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I never looked at. I don't really look at coach's salary.
Doubling your salary and staying in your own house, sleeping in your same bed,
and your son can get the job.
Your son get to double his salary in the same process. Come on now, guys. Don't y'all fall in love with the Cougars
Jimmy,
like that and think it's
Jimmy, somebody told me Tyrone Lue was one of the people that Tim Fertitta was looking at last year. Tyrone Lue is a hot name. And if y'all watch that game, let me tell you something. Something is brewing, Jimmy, because you're making me connect the dots. I haven't talked to him since that game, but let me tell you something. What Doc did the other day, you notice I said I haven't seen no other coach do that during the bubble. That was a statement for something, Jimmy. That was not just something just to be. That's not a coincidence. Okay? What Doc Rivers did the other day, in case you just joined in, Doc Rivers, the last game the Clippers played against, I forgot the team, the Nets, I think. Might have been the Nets. I don't know who the last team they played. He allowed Sam Cassell to coach the second half. Jimmy, that's not, and the phone lines is open, y'all, if y'all want to call and talk about this, 832-264-1500. Jimmy, you got to think about it. I've never seen that. That was symbolic. Somebody said, Doc, hey, let me see Sam. Because y'all got to realize no permanent friends, no permanent. The NBA ain't but 30 owners. They all got permanent interests. That's to make sure the NBA is good. So, hey, that's something to think about. I haven't talked to Sam yet, but it's something. I'm going to call him. I promise you. I wish I had known he was going to talk about this. I would have called him before the show. What else you got, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, we are on it. And we're talking right now. We just tuned to the Chop Shop, and we're talking NBA playoffs and NBA gigs that are open and who's possibly. And this Houston Rocket is right on the chart. Trust me, guys. Think about the jobs that are open. Houston Rockets, that gig is the most attractive, soon to be vacant head coaching job in all of the NBA.
No, second most attractive. New Jersey Nets, you get Kevin Durant. The Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, but
Kevin Durant?
Houston, staying in Houston, the city of Houston, you living in H-Town. I understand living in New Jersey, but living in H-Town.
Jimmy, in Brooklyn. I'm sorry, Brooklyn. We got to keep Jimmy. Living in Brooklyn. Jimmy, next time when you go to New York, you got to go with me. Then I'm going to let Sandra, I ain't going to let him get in no trouble, but I'm just letting you know the next time you go to New York, you have to go with me, and then you're going to say, all of this, what? They sleeping on New York. That's all I can tell y'all. But keep going. I know the tax is high, but guess what? In your negotiations with the team, they're going to allow your salary to be in that range so it's good.
Well, they gonna have to, because I know one thing. When you talking about living here, most people that even play or coached in this city do not relinquish their property. They keep Houston as a home, as a second or third home, depending on where they're from and where they're currently playing at. That's why H-Town. I just saying, for us, the weather. Of course, we're warm. But we blow some good cold AC down here as well, and in that wintertime. But I mean, New Brooklyn Nets job is attractive because the opportunity to coach both of those guys, but the stability. I mean, the Rockets. We know the Rockets are just a piece away, a piece and a half away, and you can get a running athletic young. Just say another athletic young. Just say if Tyson Chandler could have turned back the hands of time. That Tyson Chandler, when he came straight out of high school back in 2001, that if we get him a guy like him 5 years in, that's the perfect role. Hey, that all he needs for a big guy.
But I got a question for all you Houston Rockets haters. They might have not won a championship, but guess what? Now since when what's that? San Antonio lost the other day. They are the longest tenured team that made the playoffs 8 years in a row. No other team in the league has made the playoffs 8 years in a row since what's the name? San Antonio lost. So hey, y'all got to take a look at that now. I know y'all want him to win a championship, and no championship, but they've made the playoffs 8 years in a row. I'm just saying.
And we just got one of the messages. Somebody say that no, sir, New Orleans is the second, and Houston is third. Now Houston is way more attractive than New Orleans. Houston
Jimmy,
is
it's
way
you as a
more
coach.
attractive.
You talk? No, I ain't talking about the city. Ain't no state tax in New Orleans either.
But the gig comes with you being there, your family being there. That all that
New
comes
Orleans
with
is
it.
a great place to live if you got
the
money.
school, the education system there. Come on, Hatter, stop.
Jimmy, these people in the top 1%. You talking about public school? That kid's not going to public schools.
The crime, the per capita of crime.
The crime
It's not
don't
even
come to
close.
English term.
Houston is more attractive.
The crime don't come
Houston
to English
is more
term.
attractive than New Orleans. Understand something. Zion is gone in 2 more years. He's gone. He's not. So no matter what you getting there, you saying, well, Zion, you're just playing the John Lucas role of what he did when he was at San Antonio, at Philly, and at Cleveland. You're just gonna
Jimmy, you saying so?
season
Jimmy,
the meat for somebody
Jimmy,
else to cook it.
I can't believe you saying Rockets. You would want the Rockets somebody to come to coach James Harden. I can't believe you. I can't believe you would say, okay, I'd rather come here to the Rockets. Then that means you have to coach James Harden.
That coach? Well, guess what? That's why I said
coach.
John Lucas. That's why I said John Lucas first, because Luke right now has the best relationship with him. I would be surprised if that owner that's his biggest investment on that team is James Harden. So if that owner was to go and lean into James Harden's ear and say, man, what you think? I mean, now the thing is, would they make Luke take the head coach at Rice and put him on his bench, who used to be the head coach at Rice, who appears to be probably, but I guess Rice has to win this year. Rice University.
Jimmy, I'm not gonna talk about this on air. That's not happening. Okay.
Okay. That's
not happening. Okay.
So that's good. That means you don't have a handcuff behind him. But think about it like this: a guy like a John Lucas, he would, based on his relations in the Nike family, he would be a guy that would possibly offer Kenny Smith a spot on his bench.
Kenny Smith don't want to be no assistant coach. He make too much money.
Guess what? I mean, well, if he want to be there, it's like one of those things. Like you want to be there, you have to
Kenny
go and pay a dude somewhere.
Yeah, Kenny Smith don't want to be assistant coach.
That means you have to wait till the luck of Lotto hits for you to get a gig. If that's the case, otherwise you have to stay where you are, and that's perfectly fine. But
hey, so what happened with these June bugs this weekend? We're gonna talk about. What happened to the June bugs this weekend?
Man,
you know what I keep saying, Jimmy, and I got to tell him, Bobby Benjamin, his little team keep winning and winning, and I don't talk about them. We ain't talking about them enough. Tell me why we don't talk. They went up there Dallas and went 3-0. Is it they wasn't in the right bracket? Who they played? Help me out, man. I just thought about that.
Well, I mean, this past weekend, a lot of teams from around the state went to Dallas and participated in the Who Want That Smoke event. That's the name of the event.
Who Want the Smoke?
It's a showcase. Each team played like 3 games.
It's a showcase. Okay, I got you.
So it's not a tournament.
I got
you. It's a showcase.
Okay.
And it started on Thursday and went and concluded on Saturday. A lot of teams. Remember, on Thursday we had the Drive Nation Houston squad on the coaches on the show. One of the coaches, and we asked him, "What should we expect from you in Dallas?" He said, "We're gonna suspect us to go 8-0. Well, I do know they lost their first game.
So they went 7-1 then.
I don't know what the record, the final is, because in this event, Howard, nobody updated the app.
So you don't know.
So
What my guys at? Hey, Coach.
Nobody updated the app.
What Martin them, y'all, my crew, tell me what happened, man. Hey, man, it's all right. It's all right. If you, you wanted to go 8-0, but if you went 7-1, it's all right. Come on, Mark. I know y'all watching. Let me know what happened. But my boy Bobby Benjamin them went up there and went 3-0, Jimmy. I don't know who they played, but I saw somebody said, man, the Raptors. Everybody been talking about the Raptors. They done won a couple of tournaments. And did they come back here? Did they come back here and play a game at Doug's event too?
No.
They did. They probably was tired of whooping everybody up and down.
Well, and understand, it's the Raptors. They, from what I understand, they did go up to Dallas and win. No, they have more than one team. The Benjamin team won all of their games, and so we're getting an update from Bobby Benjamin. He's watching the Chop Shop.
Yeah.
He'll call in and give us an update.
Yeah,
I do know that a lot of teams, here's the thing, and I want to chime on, is that a lot of people, and this has come in the mailbag as well, and this was a question that was on social media. And one of the questions, there's plenty of stuff I got on here, guys. And somebody posed this question.
What they posed?
Lakeisha.
Hey, Lakeisha.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to the Chop Shop. Who we got calling?
Coach Benjamin with the Houston Raptors.
I told you guys.
I can't hear him, Jimmy. Put him closer. Okay.
Oh, that's right. I got to put the
what?
I took the other mic off, Adam.
Okay.
Can you, Coach Benjamin? You there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yada, can you hear him at all?
Yeah, that's Bobby B.
Yeah.
Bobby, can you hear me?
What's up, Mr. Adam?
What's happening, baby? What you do up there this weekend? I was getting texts and phone calls from people telling me, hey, man, them Raptors went up there and took care of their business. But tell me what you did up there, man.
Oh, man, the boys went down some pretty good ball. We had 3 showcase games out there, and we won every game. We won every game, so the boys did real well represent the city.
Okay.
Okay, who did you play?
We played Triumph, Gold, Texas Legions or something. I don't really remember. I wasn't familiar with too many other teams, and probably the best team was probably the Mississippi Sports Academy, in my opinion, because them guys played real hard.
And so you knocked all 3 of those guys out to go 3-0 over the weekend up in Dallas. And so now tell us about experience. First of all, who played well on your team up there?
Oh man, we got a load of kids, but we got AJ Ferguson, your 6'5" guard out of South Park. He played really well. He didn't play too much the last game. He was cramping, and it was an opportunity for other guys to play and show up. We got a guy, Peter McKee, 6'2" guard out of A.V. Pastons, played well. Chris Morris Jr. Out of Manville. Zari Woods was played real well. Man, y'all might need to check out the last game against Mississippi Sports Academy. I think he had about 25 or 26 points, but he definitely carried the team on his back with the rest of the kids who stepped up. We got 6'7" forward, Braxton Berry out of West Bay Christian. He said, a decent year. I know they lost the guy over there, so we give him an opportunity to step up and showcase some of the things he's been working on this year. Man, we got a little guard, Caleb Hill, out of Ridge Point, man. Real quiet, kind of learning how to be more of a facilitator at the point guard position, so you don't hear much about him because he changed from having to score the ball to facilitate. But I think once he get back with his program, he'll be able to show guys a lot of things he worked on this year. But we have a lot of talent. I apologize if I miss somebody. But I'm on a quick break from work. So, you know, I just chimed in and I heard you guys, so I decided to call in real quick.
So now going
Thanks,
up
Coach.
there, how many teams did you take?
I only took one. Only took one team.
And so did you guys get the matchups that you were expecting? Or I know that was some teams came back and they were not totally, some people was mixed, some people were satisfied, some people were not. How did it go for you guys as far as what you are expecting to play against based on you guys emerging as to the championship of the Houston Defenders tournament last week? Is that the type of competition that you went there to play?
No, not to be honest with you, not at all. Man, that's not to throw a slug at anybody, but my guys, we feel like we have a lot of prospects over here that are coming up, but we're looking to play the best of the best. I heard Drive Nation, shout out to those guys. I watched the show later on that night, and I heard they were saying the same thing. You know, we're looking to play the best. Play guys where we beat by 20. And even, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even start. If you go watch some of the games, most of my starters didn't even start maybe 2 out of the 3 games, if not all 3 games, because we were just working on some other stuff. I told the guys that I wanted, the first guy I called in the morning, I wanted them to be up and answer the call. I need them to call me back, just kind of get the guys prepping on being on time when they get to college and being responsible for getting themselves up. So I told them if one guy don't answer the phone, I'm going to bench certain guys because they need to be leaders. So we were kind of just working on different things outside of basketball while we was out there because, the smoke wasn't shit. It wasn't 93. It was some cheap smoke for us.
You say
Jimmy,
cheap
but
smoke?
Bobby, Jimmy, let me help you out, Bobby. I know you got to go back to work. You can just hang up anytime you want to. Listen. But Bobby, let me tell you something, man. People done got word of y'all. Ain't nobody trying to play y'all because everybody don't want to play nobody that they might get beat up. You follow me? Because we talked about this the last couple of weeks on the show. People don't want to play y'all, man. Because they going to get beat and Jimmy going to talk about them. Not just Jimmy, guys who talk about basketball going to talk about them. So how do you...
Get out the business. They need to go to YMCA ball. Because you're supposed to be competitive ball. I got in this for a different reason. So we want to go play the best. We're not going to run from nobody. We don't have resources other guys have. So if you have all these resources, you should be prepared to play anybody at any time. That's just the way I look at it. We're going to play anybody with limited resources.
But Jimmy said on the show that's not smart. If you got something to lose, Jimmy, you said if you're a Snickers team, you ain't going to play no team like that.
No. What I say is they're a sneaker team and they're in their own city. You're not likely to get that game against that team.
In your own city. Okay.
Unless you come and play in their own event, and then that may, we've seen it happen along the lines when the Houston Hoops when Hal Pastner had actively had his own events in Houston, you would see that. But they don't normally, and I'm talking about 17U teams primarily right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the sub 17U team. And so now what I want to ask Bobby, is that what part of it, I know it's frustrating, I can hear it in your voice, but even albeit frustrating, what is the part and what did you do? Did you make any attempts to request to play other teams or certain teams in advance of the schedule coming out? Because I got to ask that from being an event operator.
Okay. But what event are you speaking about?
This past weekend.
Both events, to be honest, the Defenders and Buff, I hit both of them and asked for, the best competition, especially with the Defenders. It was supposed to be an all-circuit, a multi-circuit event from what we were told. So that's why we added that at the last minute, and then we were told when we get out of pool play, we're going straight to one of the circuit games that was in Pool A. Well, we played at 8 that morning, and then we stuck around to 5, which was out of bracket play. It was the Defenders cutter. It wasn't one of the top teams. So, we stuck around. We won that game, and we waited for the championship, which we knew was going to be the Defenders of TakeOver. Shout out to TakeOver because they've been doing some good things over there. But when the Defenders won, our guys was ready for that game. Our parents was ready for that game. You had fans that was ready for the game, especially us, because it was our first time chance at a circuit team, which we were told this was a circuit event. If we come out of pool play, we definitely go get that game. That's what we were told.
Okay.
So you were told that. So that's a difference. Now, if somebody told you you were going to get a particular game and they did not give it to you, then that's a whole different thing. That's why I'm glad I asked the question.
We were told all we had to do was win. And we won. We took an extra game. And we played a back-to-back. Like I say, we going to play. I don't care about wins or losses. Because even in the loss, as a coach, if you can't teach your kids something from a loss, then, that's on you. But every loss, I know we could get something out of a loss just like we could get things out of a win from a coach's standpoint and just growing.
And so what do you think your kids got out of it this past weekend based on the experience of being there? I mean, what do you think they got out of it? I understand your first thing. What did they get out of it?
They got out of it is the way to approach the game. Because we won the last 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, when, haven't lost the game. And for these kids to kind of feel like they're, kind of making a name for themselves, some of them were getting recruited. When I say recruited, I don't mean offers, but some of them get calls and contacted from different levels, and some of them are Division I schools. So when you have players of that caliber, and you go in and you continue to play guys, no disrespect, but you don't know of, or you haven't heard of, sometimes it's hard as a coach and as kids to get up for those games. But I want to just give it up to my guys, and the parents for showing out love and respect. They've been able to just keep their head in the right place. Just focus on the things that they can control, which, like I say, we can ask for the good games, but we can't control that. So whatever they put in our face, we just try to prepare for it and give it our best, no matter if it's a close game or ugly game, but just finding ways to get better and learning how to put together some wins and prepare these guys for the next level.
And indeed, and so moving forward, and we'll give you like some add some understanding to it. This is what I always try to tell. Like in the city, of course, you're 1 week removed from winning the Defenders event, but that was enough time. They had a 48-hour window or whatnot to determine or maybe swap out an opponent of yours. What I would normally do is, and you guys may look as a pattern, I understand, I tell you guys all the time that many of the local sneaker sponsored 17U teams aren't fond of playing a local 17U team in, let's say, the spring icebreaker, because that's one of the rare times that they will all be able to participate in one of our events in the previous years. Well, here's what I would do. I still would give some of our top non-sneaker teams a crack at an out-of-town team that's supposed to be pretty good. I would normally make one of their games, because they are requesting to play sneaker teams as well. Well, hard work want to come here to play the hoops, and then they don't want to play the Defenders because they're brothers from the same Under Armour. But then they want to come play Team Harden, or they want to. So they're requesting, games against sneaker teams of the 17U. So I'm giving you an understanding. So you got to fill those orders of the draw first. But there's going to have a game left that you have the opportunity as an event operator to pair them against somebody to help one of your local teams out. You follow me? So in the situation of such, if your team is kicking butt, that's why you notice Dallas Showtime, giving a perfect example. They're not a sneaker program. They're not sponsored. Far as getting a check from the sneaker company. But when they come to Houston to the spring icebreaker, every year Dallas Showtime get a crack at one of the sneaker teams. They're from out of town, they get a crack at them because they are recognized as one of the best of the rest, meaning that non-sneaker. You going to Houston represented at this time, one of the top teams in Greater Houston. RL9 had not lost a game all summer, Hatter, with Coach Gamble. They had not lost all summer.
17 and under?
17U has won 30, I'm estimating, about 30 straight games. It's gritty, but
Who
somehow
they
they
playing
managed to
against?
pull out. They did not get a crack at not one sneaker program. So what you're saying is, by default, you're devaluing our top teams. By doing so, our top teams believe in you. They'll go to the event. So here's the thing. So that means we don't devalue the Dallas teams. When they come to H-Town, they're getting a crack at some of our top. People learn, though. I mean, that's going through the event operating business. Sometimes you can learn from trial and error.
Because I don't expect to
I
ever
wouldn't
be in
say-
an event. I don't understand this, but I'm learning. Keep on going. Igbu Child said.
I wouldn't necessarily, I don't mean you go and you get mad at the event operator or get mad at Buff. He's a young fella this stuff is happening so fast, and there's no manual. Then again, don't get it twisted. I don't speak for him. He may knowingly or unknowingly, but I'm saying that I don't think that he purposely. Sometimes you'd be surprised if the RL9 is 30-0 going to Dallas.
They said 24-0, Jimmy.
24-0.
She said 24-0.
Okay, 20-0 going to Dallas, or 21-0 going to Dallas. Then it's somebody's job as you pay your money, or you enter in the tournament, to remind the event operator, hey man, you want to tell you something. Our team ain't lost a game. Our team didn't kick. This is our resume. We beat these teams. We're pretty good. So you do what you made. Now you're supplying the event operator. For example, Bobby, last week we had Team Imperial. Drew Parker and Kevin Perkins. Those coaches joined us on the Chop Shop, right, a week ago. They came on and they told us, guess what? We ain't lost a game in we done won 3 straight tournaments, maybe 4 straight tournaments. So that put me on alert from doing the schedule for the Doug Dozen Classic. Man, I got to see these guys, first of all, because you're marketing yourself. And I can't wait to see, if you're going to pass the test and live on through, I'm gonna put you in some fire. So next thing you know, that's how it goes. But you have to and you did though. I can't fault you, but at the same time, I'm saying don't give the next guy the life sentence. Event operators, some people have more experience than others, and some people really do try. But putting together a schedule, the more informed you let a person know, say for example, you may have an extra player coming on your team for a particular weekend. Or you may not have your key guy coming in. It ain't like you're going to call him and tell the event operator, hey, Big Pookie ain't going to play with me this weekend, man. He my star. You're not going to tell him that because you know he going to have you on the main court. But you got to keep that guy informed. Now, if that happens to an event operator and you don't inform me and I'm going to take that in consideration next time I put you on the schedule. Because that means the next time, like crying wolf. Next time you tell me that the sky is falling, I'm not believing you. This is a Chicken Little fable. But back to this stuff, I think that our teams, there's no way. Who's our top? Babby, who would you consider our top 5 non-sneaker sponsored 17U teams going into this past weekend?
RL9. I would say, and it's hard because I'll be so focused on our guys to try to help with recruitment, I don't get to focus as much. But I'll say RL9, Drive Nation, Texas Takeover. How many is that? 4? RL9, Drive Nation, Texas Takeover. That's 3. Cruise Elite. Cruise always do a great job with everything they do. Austin team. I don't know if it's 17U or not, Well, these Clyde don't count. They start.
No. We're talking about 17U.
Let's go. I'm gonna go with Austin. Austin team. Austin. Little Austin. What was that? Perkins. Was Perkins over there? If I'm not mistaken. Was it Top Flight?
But they're talking about the Houston Flight. But he plays with the 16U, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. But yeah, he did. They look good. I got to see them a little piece of a game and some clips. They look real good over there. But 17U, that fifth spot, I'm definitely gonna put my guys in there.
Okay. So you have Coos, RL9, the Raptors take over, and I think you said the Flight.
Drive Nation.
Oh, Drive Nation Houston. How did Drive Nation Houston do down in Dallas?
We saw them when we were, checking in and getting our temperatures checked, but we was actually playing at the same time. But I'm pretty sure they did pretty well. Hopefully they did well representing the city. I know for the most part, I think everybody from Houston did well. I know at least from the first day talking to them. Like you said, the apps wasn't updated. So even when we got to the hotel, we couldn't check in like we wanted to because nothing was updated on the app.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, man, we appreciate it, man. And once again, just keep on pushing through. And so congratulations to the Houston Raptors and all those guys. You kept your winning ways. Where can they next find you guys? Are you done? Are there any other event you're playing in?
I'm about to send a message out to our parents, and then we're going to give it to parents and see how many want to play. RL9 have a league that they have going on that we might get the guys participating in. And I know Clyde invited us out to an event he has early September. So I'm going to send that information to the parents and see if they want to lace them up again. But if not, I'm not trying to, because some of our guys started high school practices, workouts, so I don't want to try to, make them pick a decision. So I think we did real well. Start reaching out to some plugs, hitting you and Doug up to try to help with these kids' recruitment. And, in case we got to pass them on over to the high school, we'll still try to work on the back end, help the guys get some recruitment going.
All right, man. Thanks a bunch, man. Bobby Benjamin,
Thanks,
man.
Bob.
As Kevin, what you got, Hatter?
I just said tell Bobby thank you.
Yeah, thanks a bunch, man, for you and the Raptor family, man. You guys keep on pushing and don't get ridden up at work. Get on back to work. Clock back in. We'll talk to you later.
I appreciate you guys.
All right.
All right.
And that is Bobby Benjamin with the Houston Raptors. What'd you say, Adam?
That's interesting. I'm learning. Y'all keep on. Y'all keep on. I'm gonna write a dissertation on this stuff, Jimmy. Hey.
I'm surprised somebody hadn't written one already, but it probably would be giving somebody.
I'm just collecting data, and we got a guy on here. Fob say he went 5-2-3-0 with Texas Tech. Who is the team with Fob coach this weekend? Is it Texas Tech? Who is Texas Tech?
Yes, Texas Takeover team.
Okay,
Texas
I'm not familiar
Takeover.
with that team, y'all. I'm not familiar.
And Texas Takeover is, understand, Texas Takeover used to be part of the Houston Raptors. It's a spinoff.
Oh, it's a spinoff. Bobby B so cold, he got spinoffs now. You got to be good to have a spinoff.
It's a spinoff. One of the coaches, one of the guys that was with the Raptors organization, spinoff, kind of like what Rossi was.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Rossi was a
That's
spinoff.
a good thing. That's a good thing.
Right?
Yeah.
And that team, and so this is what you're seeing. And Texas Takeover, that program they've been kicking a little butt. Remember last year they had a 16U program that, remember, we put together a special game over at the MI3, I think at the end of the GMI, for that team. They played the Houston Hoops 16U at the MI3 in a special game. That two teams wanted to get something off their chest, and they made it happen. And that's in front of the Houston audience. And that's one of the things that that's always good when two teams, if they want to get it on, they will find a way to make it happen. And
that's good.
It really is good. So, yeah. And Slim says, Jim made me realize closed mouths don't get fed. That's right. I mean, guys, I can't share that enough with you guys. If you are involved with a grassroots program, you are the consumer. You are paying your dollars, especially if you're paying to play in an event. That doesn't mean you're going to always get what every team that you request, because that same other team is requesting other opponents as well. But you got to shoot your shot. If you want to play against somebody, you give a list. I would suggest give a list of maybe 6 teams. And in that way, now if you're lucky, you might get 1. You could get 2. You can hit a home run and get all 3. You never know. And that was what I tell people. If you don't ask, then closed mouth can't get fed. This is not to everybody. This is where applicable. More and more teams. Now, the thing is, if you have not paid your entry fee as a team, don't you expect for your wish to be granted?
What you mean? I understand that. Don't you have to
because
pay? You talking about before you request, make sure that
yes,
Cash App is
you
there.
pay.
That PayPal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Or you can request and say it simultaneously. If we pay our money tomorrow, can you give us one or more of these teams that I'm giving you? Send that as a text.
That's how you do it. Okay.
So now that event operator gonna want that money. That's the equivalent to the lady saying, if I unbutton this dress, will you tell me you love me? So what you gonna do? Before she unbutton that dress, what you gonna do?
I love you, baby.
Now, if she unbutton that dress, or if she gets to button that dress back up 2 hours later, and she say, "Do you love me?" Then you're not obligated. You probably gonna say,
"Bang."
you gonna look at it like she crazy. I'm just telling you guys. And think about what I'm saying. Teams, and I'm trying to even out the game and supply you with this type of stuff as team program directors to make this stuff more fair. That way you guys can understand. It's tricks involved in this stuff. And I feel bad for certain teams that when they don't get it, because a lot of these guys are really, really, really fighting for their players and their programs. But then a lot of times event operators are going to look at who's ranked the highest or who has the most 3-star. You want to put a 5-star against a 5-star. And that's normally how the basic logic goes. You want to put a sneaker program against a sneaker program. That's normally how it goes. But in the midst of doing so, there would be other teams that would get some of those opportunities. And you just have to be able to get well in advance. And so let's go back to the mailbag, Alan. We got so much stuff in this, man. So much stuff in this mailbag.
I had something else too.
Dre McDonald says, if a player is 18 or 19 years old, they're supposed to look good against 16 or 17-year-old kids. It's in the form of a question. If a player is 18 or 19 years old, are they supposed to look good playing against 16, 17-year-old kids? And I think he asked that question with really, really wanting to know. I don't think it was no sarcasm or no pun intended. But I'm going to say it like this. It just depends on if that 18 or 19-year-old is a heralded player or a player who comes with a level of respect from wherever he's from, meaning via maybe ranking or whatnot on his basketball resume, then yes, he's supposed to. Now, if that player is a regular 18, 19-year-old playing against a heralded 16, 17-year-old, then that ain't necessarily the case. He's not supposed to. It's not, so it goes both ways. It just depends on the individual, Dre, on that. Wanted to ask, these are some stuff that was in the
So it
mailbag.
determines what kind of player the guy is. the person is.
It depends on what kind of player he is and how he's valued before getting there. And I got so many other stuff. I'm looking. I got that.
Jimmy,
question.
hold on before you find something. Guess who is back with their winning ways? Their winning ways, Jimmy. Guess who's back?
Now you want to talk baseball now?
No. I ain't talking about them. I'm sorry, dude. I'm talking about Money Mike is back. Money Mike done won again. Mike Collins done won again. You can hate on me. 2025.
What team?
I think the Houston Blue Chips 2025. Money Mike done won another. They got another championship. They got another banner. They done brought back. It's called, let me see. It called it Championship Sundays. You feel me? In Dallas, Texas. Hold on, let me see what tournament they played in. The Jermaine O'Neal, the Coast to Coast Preps champion. Yeah. Money Mike won again, baby. Now we can talk about the rest of these people. You can talk about, long as I get my Money Mike fix in, I'm good. He's back. He getting taller now, Jimmy. Hey, Money Mike getting taller now. He ain't a little bit. He mess around and stretch out. Y'all gonna have problems out of me around here. Yeah.
Now, I had got another one, and this was over the weekend. It was an organization. Remember, we talked for the most of August. We have been hitting on the topic of people paying for tweets, and also paying for being misled by soliciting services. And here's one that there's a service online, and these guys label themselves as a scouting service.
I saw that.
Right? Remember, I told you guys the difference between a scouting service and a recruiting service. The scouting service gets paid primarily from the colleges or the NBA teams. The recruiting services get paid from the families. That's the difference. And what happens is, what causes problems is when a recruiting service guises themselves as a scouting service to make you believe they're a scouting service, but they are actually a recruiting service, meaning that you have to pay them to
you say they disguise themselves. How you disguise yourself? Because you're right, because people like me and most parents, we don't know the difference.
Well, because first of all, in the terminology game, it carries more weight when the person is called you a scout than versus if somebody said you a recruiter. You see, if you're a recruiter, that means you're out to get something.
In some business, recruiters are very valuable, and it's a great tool.
Absolutely.
And it's a tool to stick your chest out about.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But in the youth sports, a recruiter is primarily reserved for the tag of a college coach. They call them a college recruiter. You see, so what happens is the guys who have recruiting service, this particular one, they went, and there was a young man who went and posted all a variety of text messages from him and the organization. Adam,
I saw that.
So a person posted those, and in the text thread, the organizations claim that they can get him a scholarship based on my reputation. The coach is gonna take my word, and this young person kept all of that. And then when it would come time to produce, I think he paid him $800 for this service. And the young man would check in, hey, what's the updates? And basically you see the conversation change in the thread to whereas like it was almost like, man, it's not bugging me. It's going, man, I'm not gonna lose my reputation trying to tell a coach to take you. Wait a minute, that's what you said before you got that money. And this is the very stuff that I'm trying to get everybody to wake up and to be able to battle, because it's so embarrassing. I mean, I don't know who the young man was, but it's so refreshing to see people come out and attack the establishment for what it is becoming. Too many people being duped. Now understand, you're not asking to be duped. Many of you guys are asking to be lied to, but you ain't asking to be duped.
Oh, you're saying they like to be lied to?
A lot of people basically practically begging to be lied to, but they're not asking.
Could you give me an example? Give me an example of wanting to be lied to.
Of wanting to be lied to?
Yeah.
When the scenario when the parent placing the kid that didn't even start on his varsity, and you're doing something to help that kid get on like a sneaker program team. Now that kid don't know that you had to cut a deal to get him on that team. That kid is being led to believe probably by the parent that, hey man, you see what happens when you wait, when you just take your time. Guess what? You good enough. Now you on the sneaker team. Them other guys you played with, they played before you. Look where they're playing at. Now, this kid is going to be expecting playing time. You see, nobody is telling the kid you just on the team because your dad
made a deal,
cut us a check. This kid is busting his butt thinking he really has a chance he's going to play.
So that's not the kid's fault. That's the pappy's fault.
That's the pappy fault. And the pappy
the kid didn't want to get lied to. The parents.
But the parent let the kid believe that you got it on your own. Then the parent will believe once I get him there, they're going to play my baby.
But Jimmy, that's not being lied to, Jimmy. That dad didn't know it was he. No, that's not being lied to, Jimmy. That's a good one, but that's not an example of being lied to. Your the baby didn't want to be lied to.
Take that same scenario. And that daddy, when they play, and that same team plays, and they get up by, the only way that little kid is going to play is if they get up by 20 or down by 20.
Right.
They put him in the game. He gets in the game, hits 2 3-pointers.
Oh my goodness.
Hits 2 3-pointers.
He going
so
to
now
lead.
The team goes to eat.
He going to
so
lead.
Now the team goes to eat after the game. They go have before they go back to the hotel. They go to eat. The dad sits at the table with the coaches. They're sitting there. Kids are sitting at the other table by themselves. But the dad is sitting there letting them know, say, man, see, I told you, my son, told you get that shot, man. So, next game I see they play so-and-so, man, you're going, can we get we need to give him some more action, get some more minutes, some more burn. He's a lot better than you think, coach. Right? So now coach knows another check is going to come. So now you're asking coach to lie to you. Yeah, man. We got to see what we can do with him next game. You know what? You're right, man. He was hot. Little Johnny was hot tonight, man. That's my man right there, little Johnny. Hit them jumpers, man. You had it working, man. Little Johnny, we gonna find a way to get you up in that rotation now, man.
Coach, that Pappy, no. But you saying that he wanted the coach to tell him, hey, Tiffany, I know Tiffany been watching this show because I said something similar to this last week. Tiffany Sanders said, if you're a parent, if the parent isn't willing to pay for this kind of stuff, then some of these people wouldn't be in the business. And it makes so much sense. But Father come back and said it's cheaper than tuition if you can get a scholarship. That $800 is way cheaper than tuition. Thank you, Father. If you can get a scholarship out the deal. But that's the carrot.
But that's the whole thing. There's no chance. That's the whole thing. If you get a scholarship, but then the chances are You're not taking your car to the mechanic and just say, fix everything. You're going to find out what's wrong. You're going to find out what it costs. You're not going to pay for nothing that's not the market. That's not the reality. This is what's happening. This guy had a text message thread and told this young person the way it read, I get you a scholarship. You sign up with me.
Yeah.
You're going to get that college scholarship. This is what's being said, some of the things that are being said. And this is what I'm talking about. I understand, yes, it is cheaper if you have a valuable opportunity to get that scholarship, or you're a valuable prospect. And once again, God, put it like this. There's a pecking order that normally goes along with this stuff. And this is, and I've used this before. If you have a son or a daughter, I'm going to speak to the sons right now. I'm going to give it direct, straight with no chaser on this. If you have a son and that son plays, let's say he's in the 9th grade right now, because Doug Jones has yet to do the 9th grade ranking. So we use that class. That way not to embarrass nobody particularly. I'm going to foreshadow what's about to happen. The Rucker on Wood would take place this Sunday for the incoming 9th graders and incoming 10th graders. This Sunday in Houston. Well, these 9th graders will be the first time we will lay eyes on a lot of these kids. So we're going off hype. Some of these kids we may have seen at the middle school championships back in February. But here's what happens. When they get to their school, no matter how we think of them right now, let's say that kid plays 9th grade basketball this season and has a moderate, good season. But let's say there's another 9th grader at the school that is on varsity starting that we didn't even know about. He's on varsity starting as a 9th grader, and he's not on our list at all. That's our duty to find out about this young man who's on varsity starting at the same high school that this other kid who's on the list, because that means now it has to correct itself. That don't mean we have to drop this other kid off the list. No, that means we have to talk to this high school coach and find out some details. Hold on. I didn't know about this little Johnny over here. We got this other kid listed, coach. What's going on? Is he that good? Because guess what? That little Johnny could be the coach's nephew. You follow me? He could be doing his sister or his brother a favor and putting his nephew on varsity. It could be a political move. That kid's daddy could be the one that's cutting the check. So we have to investigate to find out how is it that we don't know about. He's not listed on our list, RCS Sports list. Doug don't have him ranked or sorted on the watch list, but he's on your varsity starting, and this other kid's not. Those are little things. So my point is to parents, if you have a kid and he's young, in 9th grade or the 10th grade now going to, and you see your kid at the same high school with a kid that's listed and your kid is not, then I'm begging you to send the email and contact myself or Doug to let us know that it exists like that. Because that don't mean the other kid gonna get dropped. That means your kid definitely, I gotta investigate it to find out how. That means another kid just might be that good and it might get slept. That's called getting slept on. That's being slept on. But if we do better by asking you guys to keep us informed, think of RCS Sports, think of the Chop Shop. We are a big barrel of fire. We can keep, and it's cold outside. We can only keep you as warm as the logs that you put into this fire. That's how you look at this stuff. You guys, the Boom Boom Room, you guys keep it crunk. It's people that come on this. You guys are it's like a version of a virtual version of Cheers. Y'all come every day from 12 to 2, and everybody just sit there. Some of y'all got a white cup like I have right now and sip out of it. Some of you don't. Some of you, but it's it's entertaining, it's humorous, it's educating. It's just something we chilling together. And guess what? We get through today with enough energy to go on downhill with this stuff. And that's how we rock with the Chop Shop. And that's why I thank you guys. Why I always ask you, please share the show.
Yes.
To your timelines.
Yes.
To your friends.
Yes.
You never know who's watching the Chop Shop or we can help somebody smile in their day. The Chop Shop. You guys on the YouTube feed, I mean, we appreciate y'all as well. And they're giving it up.
Oh, they
I see
it up.
Joffrey Day.
Wesley Yates.
Yeah,
Tory
Otha
Ransbury. Otha Brown. Martin Vaughn. Mo City's Finest. King Sticks. All that Ronnie Fleming. I mean, Jimmy, I want to help. We're going to finish the show out with this one, Jimmy. I saw this last night. They said, parents, do not sit near Baller TV cameras. We hear you. Some of your voices we know. And then, Jimmy, I got another one. It said AAU has become about rankings, coaches' egos, parents competing about status, and directors bragging about who's the best in their state. In the meantime, kids aren't being developed, nor are they having fun. Adults are too emotionally involved, and trust me, the kids hate it. Wow, I think I probably need to repeat that one. AAU has become about rankings, coaching egos, parents competing about status, and directors bragging about who's the best in their state. In the meantime, kids aren't being developed, nor are they having fun. I have to repeat that. I know y'all think they are. Some of these kids not having fun. Adults are too emotionally involved, and trust me, the kids hate it. Kids hate when they go all the way out of town and somehow they get taken off floors and not being able to finish a game, and the game is on Baller TV. Parents, the kids don't like that. Okay? So do something to correct it. Taking off the coach get put out of the game, they take the kids off the floor. The kids don't like that, Larry Etienne, Tiffany Sanders. I know we don't ask the kids because they said in the beginning, parents are competing for status. My son is number one. My directors are bragging about who's the best teams in the state. Meanwhile, these kids aren't being developed, nor are they having fun. The parents, y'all might be on here having fun, but your kids are not. I'm telling y'all now. And Jimmy, one of my pet peeves, and somebody mentioned the other day, and thank you, Doug. Doug tweeted about a kid. Doug said this kid is balling. Okay? And put his Twitter handle on there. Doug, I went to the Twitter handle. The kid's full name is not. Kids, put your full damn name on your Twitter handle. And quit talking all this crazy stuff on Twitter so nobody won't know. You can't have all them crazy. Put your full name, young men. Because Doug said something, Tiffany, and allowed me to go. I said, I'm going to look the kid up on Instagram too. So guess what, son? I don't even know your name. And guess what? Let me tell you something. And I'm not going to go and try to figure your name out. You're lost out on being talked about on the Chop Shop like Money Mike did. Mike Collins, that's his real name. Because when I first met this young man and his friend, these young men were so in tune at 11 years old, 12 years old, when I met them years ago, with what was going on in the EYBL, and they weren't even playing in the EYBL. They was just there to watch the game. Instead of staying around their friends in the hotel, they said they wanted to come and watch the big boys play. So, of course, I'm going to have an affinity for Mike Collins. Money Mike. If you're wondering why I talk about him all the time, because his IQ, just the way these young men sit and talk to me as little kids, and now he's getting better and better. Of course I'm going to watch him because he told me his whole damn name, Mike Collins. I just call him Money Mike. So please, y'all, tell your son, go check your son's Twitter handle. Come on, man. Y'all, come on. Y'all quit being so damn cool, putting all them funny names on your Twitter. It might look good to the girls, but to the college coaches, don't look good. So, Jimmy, I had to share that. Parents, directors, let's some kind of way reverse this curse and make it about the kids. Before you take your kids off the floor, the whole team off the floor, think about they did not come there to see your ass. They came there to see the kid. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel about it. Jimmy, what else you got?
You said I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about it.
That's just the way I feel about it, man. I'm getting sick of it, man. I'm getting sick of it. Well, I'm doing this for the kids. I'm not doing it. Y'all, it's some ego involved in there, and I got a great definition for that. I use that as an acronym, ego. Easing God out. Y'all can take that. I'll let y'all have that one for free.
Now, speaking of one last thing I want to get out the way today that happened this past weekend. The Houston Defenders went up there, and I see Coach Mr. Punch told them they went 2-1 over the weekend, and which is a good showing. The one loss this past weekend, the head coach had got teched out and kicked out of the game. And after getting kicked out of the game, then sure enough, another grassroots coach went to call this coach and subliminally called him out without mentioning his name and on social media. And sometimes the message coming from the wrong messenger can have a bad taste that come with it. And in this situation, the messenger was John Urie. And the reason I say the wrong messenger, because John Urie has historically been noted and known for his animations and on the sidelines and his antagonizing of some of the officials, to the point whereas a guy like Aaron Harrison that is actually part of his repertoire, meaning that he tries to see just how far he can push a referee. And that's part of his strategy, meaning but at the same time, it's at the sacrificing of the kids if you happen to get kicked out of the game. Because some refs, and if you get kicked out of the game, remember, I think I told you during the Elite 36 at Rick Nelson's event last month, the Defenders were playing and something, happened on a call, and Aaron Harrison got teched and got another tech, and the referee motioned to eject him from the gym. But then they had to have court and calm things down. So then, and they solved it. My point is, he went to see just how far he could go with that particular referee at the expense of the kids. He was trying to take his kids off the court. Now I'm understanding that a similar act occurred in Dallas this past weekend, whereas this same team, same coach, tried to take the kids. Well, they did. From what I understand, they didn't play anymore. So John Urie, the messenger, once again, I said John Urie has been probably received more texts than any coach that's active in grassroots basketball in this state of Texas. He's probably received more texts, probably. Not sure, no way nobody keeps that stat. So how can we prove it?
Jimmy,
Right?
I understand you're getting texts, okay? I understand you're getting double texts, okay? But you can't take your kids off the floor. Let somebody else coach the team. You knew that was going to happen. Baller TV is there to watch the kid. Let somebody else do it, man. I mean, it's coming time that yes, somebody got to tell them. And parents, y'all the one got the power, especially in this climate. You got the power. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Let me tell you something, man. If somebody called me and said, man, this guy pulled his whole team off the floor. Yeah, she's right. When Baller TV working, yeah, that's the biggest bunch of crap in the world.
So it's not been working?
Let's not tell that, Jimmy. We'll spend another hour talking about them. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes.
Y'all let me know. I mean, I don't have no idea, and that's a lot of times, a lot of events, I've used them, and I think Doug used them this past weekend. I don't know.
Yeah, they just still using the first. Doug said they're using the first generation iPad. Hey, all they got to do, Jimmy, is these new iPhones they got now. Oh my God, they can film. Jimmy, we can almost film this show with the new iPhone. The new iPhone got one of the best cameras known to man. But Jimmy, it's just, we just got to get better. I didn't mean to turn this into a Baller TV debate. This is about our young men seeing these examples of, if I don't have my way, I'm taking my ball and go. If I don't have my way, we ain't gonna play. No, man. No, just let the other guy, the next guy in line, hey, coach your team. I'll see y'all later. I done went too far. That's all. It is what it is. If y'all keep letting them get away with it, parents, they're gonna keep doing it to your kids. Now, Jimmy, is that it?
Yeah, man.
Can we yabba dabba do this thing?
Yeah, it's that time. We in overtime, and I got meetings. Once again, guys, we definitely appreciate on this Monday. Tomorrow, as we do customarily, we have college coach going to join us on tomorrow. He's a popular college coach around this part of the United States, and you guys know when he comes on, it's going to be rocking and one hell of a conversation. So we're going to fire that thing up on Tuesday. So I'm gonna keep it a secret. I'm gonna keep it a secret. You just wait. You'll wait till tomorrow in here. Meanwhile, the Utah Jazz are leading the Denver Nuggets at the end of the third quarter, right?
Not bad much.
And that score is 82-78. There's 10 seconds left, dead ball at the end of the third quarter. So Donovan Mitchell and company and Rudy Gobert, they are giving the Nuggets everything they want and then some with this program. In this game one, of the playoff. Houston Rockets will be tomorrow at 5:30, and the playoffs will be going on 4 games a day, 4 games on Tuesday. Meanwhile, guys, it's that time indeed. Al, did you show them the pictures today? Speaking of this past weekend.
I ain't show them, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hey, Hey, go get your friends to come back.
Or you want to save them to tomorrow? You want to save them to tomorrow or what?
Let me see. How many people?
You want to ask the coach? You want to let the coach comment on them?
Okay, we'll wait till tomorrow. We'll wait till tomorrow.
We'll let tomorrow. We'll save these pictures to tomorrow.
We'll wait till tomorrow.
We'll let this coach. Cause I'm curious to see what this coach is gonna say about these photos that were streaming through the internet this past weekend. So we're gonna get that and a lot more on tomorrow, guys. Shout out to Big Doug Jones. He's watching us. He concluded the Doug's Dozen Classic, which was won by the Houston Defenders Black.
Okay.
Want to give them a shout out. The Houston Defenders Black.
Who is Black?
This team.
Is the coach named Black? Or the color Black?
No.
It's just the color Black.
That's what they call it. The team is they name them Black.
Okay.
The color Black. Not
Okay.
the coach name is Black.
Okay.
And this team stopped the winning streak from the team Imperial. Andrew Parker and his son's coach that team, they got hammered in the championship game, 67-47. And on tomorrow, of course, a full recap from that game, along with the the line scores from every game or from the event, can be viewed in the VIP news on rcsports.com. Go to rcsports.com and check out the recap from the Doug's Dozen Classic, which was held this past weekend. Great event, man. Rick Nelson, shout out to Rick Nelson and his crew, Jalon, Henry Sims, and those guys, and Bino and everybody for keeping everything sanitized. I'm gonna tell you something, man. The score sheets were pre-printed. You know, you go to the score sheet, you got to write all the numbers in before the game. Everything was printed up for you.
That means the coaches.
The balls, everything.
I mean, the coaches sent out the proper information on time.
Yes.
And y'all got it taken care of. That's good.
Yes. And want to give a shout out to them. And guess what? I mean, it was great, man. So this thing has a chance to really be something huge in the years to come. Once again, props to Doug Jones. Once again, coming up this weekend on Sunday, Rucker on Wood, the world's largest open gym. And that's for 9th graders and 10th graders to nominate the kid. I'm thinking it's filled up already. And I'm not sure. I got to check with Doug Jones. But anyway, guys, we got to get up out of here.
Hold up, Jimmy. Hold up. 1 sec. All right, I had to get that now.
There you go. And it's time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing. Now it's time we all can go watch this fourth quarter and see if Donovan Mitchell and company gonna close out, or if the Denver Nuggets gonna do what they have been expected to do. We'll see how this thing go. Guess what? It's playoff time, guys. Peace. On behalf of Robert Hatter, I'm Jim Hicks. We up out of here.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop